वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं वन्दे कृष्णदेवं मुरनरकमिदं वेदवेदान्तवेद्यं लोके प्रसिद्धं यदुकुलजलजधौ प्रादुरासीदपारे यस्यासिद्रूपमेवं त्रिभुवनतरणे भक्तिवञ्च स्वतन्त्रं शास्त्रं रूपं च लोके प्रकटयति मुदा यः स नो भूतिहेतुः नमः कृष्णपादाब्जाय भक्ताभीष्टप्रदायिने आरक्तं रोचयेच्छश्वन् मामके हृदयाम्बुजे श्रीभागवतरूपं तत् पूजयेत् भक्तिपूर्वकम् अर्चकायाखिलान् कामान् प्रयच्छति न संशयः अथ विनियोगः ॐ अस्य श्रीमद्भागवतस्य स्तोत्रमन्त्रस्य नारद ऋषिः बृहति छन्दः श्रीकृष्णः परमात्मा देवता ब्रह्म बीजं भक्तिः शक्तिः ज्ञान वैराग्ये कीलकं मम श्रीमद् भागवत प्रसाद सिद्ध्यर्थे पाठे विनियोगः अथ न्यासः ऋषयादिन्यासः नारदर्षै नमः शिरसि वृत्ति छन्दसे नमो मुखे श्रीकृष्णाय आत्मदेवतायै नमो हृदये ब्रह्मबीजाय नमो गुह्ये भक्ति शक्तये नमः पादयो ज्ञानवैराग्यकीलकाभ्यां नमो नाभौ विनियोगाय नमः सर्वाङ्गे अथ करन्यास ॐ ॐ ॐ दक्षिणतर्जनाम् ॐ नमो दक्षिणमध्यमाभ्याम् ॐ नमो दक्षिण अनामिकाभ्याम् ॐ नमो दक्षिण कनिष्ठिकाभ्याम् ॐ नमो वाम कनिष्ठिकाभ्याम् ॐ नमो वाम अनामिकाभ्याम् ॐ वाम मध्यमाभ्याम् ॐ नमो वाम तर्जनीभ्याम् ॐ नमः ॐ नमो दक्षिणाङ्गुष्ठया पर्वणो ॐ नमः ॐ नमो वामाङ्गुष्ठपर्वणो ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अथ अङ्गन्यासः ॐ नमो हृदयाय नमः ॐ भगवते नमः शीरसे स्वाहा ॐ नमो वासुदेवाय नमः शिखायै वषट् ॐ नमो नमः कवचाय हुं ॐ नमो भगवते नेत्रत्रयाय वौषट् ॐ वासुदेवाय नमः अस्त्राय फट् अथ ध्यानम् किरीट केयूरमहारः निष्कर्मण्योत्तमालङ्कृत सर्वगात्रं पीताम्बरं काञ्चनचित्रद्वयं मालाधरं केशवभ्युपैमैः सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नमोऽस्तु ते सविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दा यतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततये पूर्ण प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमय प्रदीप ॐ नमो गुरुभ्यो गुरुपादुकाभ्यो नमः परेभ्यः परपादुकाभ्यः आचार्यसिद्धेश्वरपादुकाभ्यो नमोऽस्तु लक्ष्मीपतिपादुकाभ्यः कामादिसर्प व्रजगारुडाभ्यां विवेकवैराग्यनिधिप्रदाभ्यां बोधप्रदाभ्यां धृतमोक्षदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्याम् अनन्तसंसारसमुद्रतार नौकायिताभ्यां स्थिरभक्तिदाभ्यां जाड्याब्धिसंशो षण्वाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्याम् ओंकाररिंकाररहस्ययुक्तं श्रींकारगूढार्थमहाविभूत्या ओंकारमर्मं प्रतिपादिनीभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्याम् होत्राग्निहविष्यहोत्रु होमादि सर्व कृतिभासमानं यत् ब्रह्म तद्वो धन्यान्ताभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्याम् यस्य यतोऽन्वयादि तरतः यत्र परम धीमहि सत्यं परम धीमहि परम धीमहि Om Shrimad Bhagavatam Prathama Skanda Atha Prathamo Dhyayaya. He from whom the creation, sustenance, and dissolution of the universe takes place, who is both the material and instrumental cause of it, who is omniscient, who is the only one having self-mastery, being the one independent entity, who illumined the mind of Brahma with the Vedic revelation, whose wisdom is the wonder of even the greatest of sages, in whom the worlds, the manifestation of the three gunas, subsist in reality, without in the least affecting him, just as the combinations of material elements like fire, water, and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose light of consciousness there is no place for anything false. On that truth supreme we meditate. In this glorious text, the Bhagavata, which is the composition of the great sage Vyasa, the topic discussed is the dharma of holy ones who are free from the passions of the heart and who have abandoned all the false values of the world. The teaching it imparts is concerned with the supreme truth that brings about the good of all and removes the threefold suffering of man. When a scripture like this is available, what is the use of other texts? For this text is itself sufficient to fortify faith and devotion to God in the minds of men who hear and study it with attention. O connoisseurs, O devotees, quaff to inebriation this nectar that is the Bhagavata, the nectar of the fruit of the tree of the Vedas, flowing from the mouth of the great parrot, Sri Shuka, perched on that tree of wisdom and pecking at its fruits. Shonaka and other rishis, desirous of attaining to the realm of Mahavishnu, honored and sung about even by the denizens of heaven, had started a Brahma Satra in the holy place known as Naimisharanya, which is sanctified by the constant presence of the Lord, the unwinking witness of everything. One day, these sages, after finishing their morning sacrificial rites, reverentially questioned Suta, who was sitting there duly honored and at ease. The rishis said, O stainless one, you have learned and have expounded all spiritual scriptures like the Puranas, Itihasas, and Dharma Shastras. O Sutta dear, whatever was known to great sages like Vyasa and others who were knowers of Brahman in both his personal and impersonal aspects, all that is known to you too, for they, like all noble teachers, must have imparted to you, their dear disciple, all the knowledge they had acquired, including the most esoteric. O long-lived one, of that vast knowledge, impart to us whatever you think is essential for man to attain salvation. O noble one, in this age of Kali, men are short-lived. They are also lazy, dull-witted, and unlucky. Vast and varied are the scriptural texts, which expound in detail the numerous duties to be performed. With your genius, lift up from that ocean the knowledge forming its essence, and impart the same to us who are endowed with faith in it. May we also be helped thereby to attain supreme peace. O Sutta, may good befall you. We deem that you know why and for what purpose the Supreme Lord, the protector of devotees, took birth as the son of Vasudeva by the wife Devaki. To us who are desirous of hearing you, please narrate the story of his descent as the God incarnate, which must have meant for bringing eternal bliss and worldly welfare to all beings. By resorting to his name, be it even in a mood of distress and helplessness, one entangled in the cycle of births and deaths would at once get release, for even the god of death is afraid of him. By clinging to his feet without break, the sages who have attained to eternal peace become endowed with the power to purify instantly everyone and everything in their very presence. On the other hand, even Ganga, supposed to be the greatest of sanctifying agencies, can purify one only through long and continuous contact. Which person, desirous of purification, will not be intent on listening to the glories of the Lord, glories which attract the praise of all holy men, and which efface the evil effects of the iron age of Kali. Also narrate to us, who are full of faith, his noble deeds, the subject of many a wise man's hymns of praise, in his special manifestations as the Kalas, for purposes of creation, preservation, and dissolution. O wise one, speak to us also of the auspicious Leela avatars of Sri Hari, the Lord of all, which he assumed by his mysterious power for the purpose of play. As for ourselves, never are we tired of hearing about the glories of the Most Holy One. For the more a true connoisseur of the sentiment of divine love hears it, the more does his taste for it develop. What were the superhuman deeds that Keshava, along with Rama, performed when he assumed a human body, hiding from the eyes of the ignorant the secret of his being the Lord of all? Noting that the age of Kali has started, we have assembled here in this sacred Vaishnava center of Naimisharanya, intent on performing a Brahma Satra of 1,000 years' duration, and of listening to the glorious narratives of Hari during this period. To us, who are desirous of crossing this formidable sea of evil called Kali, Kali who destroys all the spiritual tendencies in man, you have come verily as a pilot sent by Providence himself. Please answer one more question. From where did Dharma spiritually gain support when Sri Krishna, the Lord of all yogas, the lover of man, and the protector of spirituality, finished his earthly abode and assumed his eternal abode? Atha Dvitiyo Adhyaya. Sage Vyasa said, the Sutta Ugrasravas, the son of Roma Harshana, being highly pleased with the above questions of the rishis, began to speak as follows in appreciation of these words. Sri Shuta said, I salute Sri Shuka, who wandered forth from home and relatives, all alone, dutiless, from his very birth by virtue of his enlightened state, and who, when followed by his grief-stricken father, Dwapayana, Vyasa, with cries of, O son, where are you? Answered, as it were, those anxious calls through the resonance of the forest trees, of which and of everything else he was the soul on account of his realization of the truth of non-duality. I salute Vyasa's son Sri Shuka, the teacher even of all the contemplatives, who out of mercy for men entangled in samsara, narrated this most profound of all Puranas, the Bhagavata, a text unique in its inherent power, the digest of all the teachings of the Vedas, and the one beacon of light of the realm of the spirit for those seeking guidance to get across the limitless ocean of blinding darkness constituted of primeval ignorance. The study and teaching of the Bhagavata, the instrument of victory, over ignorance, should start only after salutations have been made to the embodiment of the Supreme Being, Nara Narayana, to the goddess Saraswati, and to the sage Vyasa. O sages, the questions you have put are both relevant and important, for relating as they do to the Supreme Being, Sri Krishna, they will bring about peace at heart and contribute to the good of the whole world. The highest duty of man consists in doing that which generates devotion to the Supreme Being, devotion which is motiveless, which is unyielding to any obstacle, and which fills the heart of man with peace after erasing all the body-based instincts and tendencies. Devotion to Vasudeva quickly generates abhorrence for sensual life and bestows the transcendent knowledge which is beyond the grasp of logical controversies. Karma, however well performed, have to be deemed as mere labor wasted if it fails to generate in man a delight in hearing about the spot of manifestation of the Supreme Being in his cosmic activities. But there are others who maintain that dharma is for acquiring wealth and prosperity here and heavens hereafter, that wealth is meant for the fulfillment of karma, and that karma is to be sought for sensual enjoyments. Such a view is incorrect and deserves to be abandoned. Dharma, understood as the supreme good of man, can never have wealth as its reward, nor has wealth, understood as an aid to the achievement of Dharma, been conceived as an aid for the attainment of karma. Karma, in its turn, is not a call to indulgence in sensual pleasures, but a mere inducement implanted by the Creator to make life unbroken. And as for life, it has the quest of the supreme truth as its end, not certainly karma for the attainment of wealth. The supreme truth to be sought after is described by enlightened ones as non-dual consciousness. It is verily called Brahman, as Paramatman, and as the Bhagavan. The contemplatives endowed with faith, renunciation, and other virtues leading to enlightenment discover the Spirit in themselves through devotion generated and strengthened by the hearing and studying of the Scriptures. Hence, O Holy One, the attainment of the grace of Sri Hari is the true end of the proper discharge of duties, sacred and secular, ordained according to the Varna Ashrama social system. Therefore, men should with one pointed mind hear about, praise, worship, and contemplate upon the Supreme Being, the Master of all devotees. The constant contemplation of his deeds is a veritable sword for cutting asunder the bondage of self-centered tendencies of work which only goes to strengthen the knot of egoism in man. Which man of insight would not feel attracted to these accounts of his deeds that are endowed with such potency? By resorting to sacred precincts, one gets an opportunity to associate oneself with and serve holy men. Such service strengthens one's faith in spiritual matters, increases the desire to hear more and more about the Lord, and gradually generates an instinctive delight in such hearing. Krishna, the friend of devotees, purifies the hearts of those who take his name. He manifests in the hearts of those who hear the accounts of his deeds and erases all the evil tendencies blocking their spiritual development. When the obstructing evil tendencies are mitigated through constant application to the service of a holy man and the study of holy scriptures, one develops a steady and unshakable love of the Lord of abounding glory and grace. With the growth of devotion, the mind is freed from the agitations of instinctive passions like greed and sexuality, the products of rajas and tamas, and gets established in the peace and poise of sattva. In the aspirant who has, through the practice of devotion, attained to purity and poise of mind, and also to freedom from every form of worldly attachments, is generated the intuition of the Supreme Being as an absolute reality. When the Supreme Soul is thus intuited within oneself, the knots of the heart that make one feel oneself as an ego are severed. The doubts of the mind are dispelled, and all the accumulated karmas of the past, as also those in the offing, are liquidated. For this reason, wise men joyfully cultivate supreme devotion to Vasudeva, which brings peace and blessedness to the heart of man. The Shakti of the Lord has three aspects: Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. The one Supreme Being assumes these three aspects of his Shakti for the purposes of creation, preservation, and dissolution, and comes to be known respectively as Brahma, Hari, and Hara, respectively. Of them, it is through the Sattvika manifestation of Vasudeva that man attains mukti. Earth, wood, smoke, and fire are products of one and the same substance, and are progressively closer to Vedic sacrifices for their performance, the fire being the immediate condition required for their performance. So also, Rajas is closer to the attainment of Brahman than Tamas, and Sattva than Rajas. For it is Sattva that reveals Brahman. So also Mahavishnu, having Sattva for his adjunct in his divine manifestation, is directly concerned with the salvation